Have you ever finished eating a juicy peach, sweet plum, handful of cherries, or a delicious apricot and tossed the pits straight into the trash without a second thought? Most people do. Those hard little stones seem useless once the fruit is gone. But what if those pits were actually the beginning of an orchard? What if the seed you throw away today could become a fruit-bearing tree that provides harvests for years to come? The truth is that many of the most popular fruit trees can be grown directly from their pits, and the process is much easier than most gardeners realize. With just a few simple steps and a little patience, you can transform kitchen scraps into thriving trees that beautify your yard and provide fresh fruit for generations. Growing fruit trees from pits is one of the most rewarding gardening projects anyone can try. It costs almost nothing, requires very little equipment, and gives you the satisfaction of watching an entire tree develop from something most people consider waste. While trees grown from seed may not always produce fruit identical to the parent tree, they often develop unique characteristics and can become productive, healthy additions to your landscape. Many gardeners are surprised to discover just how simple the process can be when broken down into manageable steps. Before getting started, it helps to understand what a pit actually is. In peaches, plums, cherries, apricots, and almonds, the pit is a protective shell that surrounds the seed. Inside that hard outer layer is a living embryo waiting for the right conditions to begin growing. Nature designed these seeds to survive harsh conditions, including winter cold, before sprouting in spring. Understanding this natural process is the key to successfully growing your own trees. The first thing to know is that not every pit will germinate. Nature expects some losses along the way, which is why it is always best to save multiple pits whenever possible. If you want one healthy tree, consider starting with several pits. This increases your chances of success and allows you to select the strongest seedlings later. Fortunately, fruit pits are free, making it easy to start several at once without any extra expense. Choosing healthy fruit is one of the most important factors in achieving success. Always begin with ripe, high-quality fruit. The healthier the fruit, the better the chance that the seed inside is mature and viable. Avoid fruits that appear diseased, damaged, moldy, or underdeveloped. A strong seed begins with a healthy parent fruit, so selecting the best specimens is worth the effort. After enjoying the fruit, carefully collect the pits and rinse away any remaining fruit flesh. Leftover fruit residue can encourage mold growth during storage and germination. Washing the pits thoroughly helps reduce problems later. Use cool water and gently scrub off any remaining flesh. Once clean, allow the pits to air dry for a day or two in a shaded area. Many people mistakenly plant pits immediately after cleaning them and then wonder why nothing happens. The reason is simple. Most stone fruit seeds require a period of cold stratification. This process mimics winter conditions and signals to the seed that it is safe to wake up and begin growing. Without this cold period, many seeds remain dormant and refuse to germinate. Now comes the first major step. Prepare the pits for stratification. Place the cleaned pits in a container filled with slightly moist peat moss, vermiculite, sand, or even a damp paper towel. The material should feel moist but not soaking wet. Excess water can encourage mold and rot. The goal is to provide consistent moisture while allowing enough airflow for healthy seed development. Seal the pits and moist material inside a plastic bag or airtight container. Label the container with the fruit type and the date. This simple step prevents confusion later, especially if you are starting several different kinds of fruit trees. Proper labeling helps you track progress and remember how long the seeds have been chilling. Place the container in the refrigerator, not the freezer. Most stone fruit seeds need temperatures between 34 and 41 degrees Fahrenheit. This cool environment mimics winter conditions without exposing the seeds to damaging freezing temperatures. During this period, the seeds begin internal changes that prepare them for germination. Patience becomes important during stratification. Different fruits require different chilling times. Peach and apricot pits typically need around 8 to 12 weeks. Plum pits often require a similar period. Cherry seeds may need 10 to 16 weeks. Almonds generally benefit from several weeks of chilling as well. The exact timing varies, but maintaining consistent cold conditions is more important than achieving a precise number of days. Check the pits periodically throughout the stratification process. Open the container every couple of weeks and inspect for mold, excessive moisture, or drying out. If mold appears, remove affected pits and refresh the growing medium. If the material becomes dry, lightly mist it with water. Small adjustments along the way can greatly improve germination success. As the chilling period progresses, you may notice some pits beginning to crack. This is often a positive sign. The seed inside is preparing to emerge and begin growth. Occasionally, tiny roots may even appear while the pits are still in the refrigerator. These early signs indicate that stratification is working and that planting time is approaching. The second major step begins once the chilling period is complete. It is time to plant the seeds. Prepare small pots filled with a quality seed starting mix or well-draining potting soil. Good drainage is essential because young seeds are vulnerable to rot if kept in overly wet conditions. Choose containers with drainage holes to allow excess water to escape. Plant each seed approximately 1 inch deep. If you have already removed the outer pit and exposed the seed, handle it carefully to avoid damage. If the pit has cracked naturally, position the seed so emerging roots can grow downward easily. Cover lightly with soil and water gently until the soil is evenly moist. Place the pots in a warm location with bright, indirect light. Temperatures between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit generally encourage healthy germination. Avoid placing newly planted seeds in intense direct sunlight, which can dry the soil too quickly and stress young seedlings before they establish themselves. During the germination period, maintaining consistent moisture is critical. The soil should remain moist but never waterlogged. Allowing the soil to dry completely can kill a developing seed, while excessive moisture can cause fungal problems and root rot. Monitoring moisture carefully helps create ideal growing conditions. One of the most exciting moments arrives when the first green shoot emerges from the soil. After weeks or even months of waiting, seeing that tiny sprout break through the surface is incredibly rewarding. This fragile seedling represents the beginning of a tree that could live for decades. Many gardeners find this stage especially satisfying because it transforms an invisible process into visible growth. As seedlings grow, provide plenty of light. A sunny windowsill, greenhouse, or grow light setup works well. Adequate light prevents seedlings from becoming weak and leggy. Strong light encourages sturdy stems, healthy leaves, and vigorous root development. The stronger the seedling becomes during its early stages, the better equipped it will be for life outdoors. When seedlings develop several sets of true leaves, they may benefit from gentle fertilization. Use a diluted, balanced fertilizer at half strength. Young plants do not need heavy feeding, but a small nutritional boost can support healthy growth. Over-fertilizing should be avoided because it can damage delicate roots and create excessive leafy growth. The third major step focuses on transitioning young trees to their permanent growing location. This stage often determines whether a seedling merely survives or truly thrives. Before moving plants outdoors, they must be hardened off gradually. This process allows seedlings to adapt to outdoor conditions without experiencing shock. Begin by placing the seedlings outdoors in a sheltered, shaded location for a few hours each day. Gradually increase exposure to sunlight, wind, and outdoor temperatures over 1 to 2 weeks. This gradual adaptation strengthens plant tissues and reduces stress. Rushing the process can result in damaged leaves and slowed growth. Selecting the right planting site is extremely important. Most fruit trees prefer full sun, meaning at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily. Good air circulation helps reduce disease pressure, while well-drained soil supports healthy root development. Avoid areas where water tends to collect after heavy rains. Before planting, loosen the soil thoroughly, remove weeds, and incorporate compost if necessary. Healthy soil creates an environment where roots can expand easily and access essential nutrients. The better the soil preparation, the stronger the tree's long-term growth will be. Dig a hole slightly wider than the root ball, but no deeper than the existing soil level in the pot. Position the tree carefully and backfill with soil. Gently firm the soil around the roots to eliminate large air pockets. Water thoroughly after planting to settle the soil and encourage root establishment. Mulching around young trees offers several benefits. A layer of organic mulch helps conserve moisture, suppress weeds, regulate soil temperature, and improve soil quality as it breaks down. Keep mulch a few inches away from the trunk to prevent moisture-related diseases and pest problems. The first year after planting is critical. Young trees need consistent watering while establishing their root systems. Deep watering encourages roots to grow downward in search of moisture, creating stronger and drought-resistant plants. Frequent shallow watering tends to produce weaker root systems concentrated near the soil surface. Protecting young trees from animals is another important consideration. Rabbits, deer, rodents, and other wildlife can damage tender bark and foliage. Tree guards, fencing, or protective barriers may be necessary depending on your location. A few simple precautions can prevent significant setbacks. Pruning is often misunderstood by beginner gardeners. During the first few years, focus primarily on removing damaged, diseased, or poorly positioned branches. Light shaping encourages a strong framework while avoiding excessive stress on young trees. Proper structure established early contributes to better productivity later. One fascinating aspect of growing fruit trees from pits is the element of surprise. Unlike grafted nursery trees, seed-grown trees may exhibit unique characteristics. Fruit size, flavor, color, ripening time, and disease resistance can vary. While this unpredictability means results are not guaranteed to match the original fruit, it also creates opportunities for discovering exceptional new varieties. Many gardeners worry about how long they must wait before seeing fruit. The answer varies by species and growing conditions. Peach trees often produce fruit within 3 to 6 years. Plums and apricots may require a similar time frame. Cherries sometimes take longer. Almond trees can also require several years before becoming productive. Although patience is required, the long-term rewards are substantial. The waiting period can actually be enjoyable when viewed as part of the gardening journey. Watching a tree develop from a tiny seedling into a mature plant teaches valuable lessons about nature, patience, and growth. Each season brings new milestones, from leaf emergence and branch development to flowering and eventual fruit production. One common mistake beginners make is giving up too early. Seeds sometimes germinate slowly, and young trees occasionally experience setbacks. Temporary leaf loss, slow growth, or minor pest issues do not necessarily indicate failure. Consistent care and patience often allow trees to recover and continue developing successfully. Weather plays a major role in tree development. Extreme heat, severe cold, drought, and storms can all affect growth. Learning how your local climate influences fruit trees helps you provide appropriate protection when necessary. Mulching, watering, shading, and frost protection are valuable tools for supporting young plants through challenging conditions. Soil health becomes increasingly important as trees mature. Regular additions of compost and organic matter improve soil structure, encourage beneficial microorganisms, and provide slow-release nutrients. Healthy soil serves as the foundation for healthy trees, making it one of the best long-term investments a gardener can make. Pest management is another area where prevention often proves more effective than treatment. Healthy trees naturally resist many problems. Proper watering, pruning, spacing, and sanitation reduce pest pressure significantly. Monitoring trees regularly allows you to identify and address issues before they become severe. Flowering represents one of the most exciting stages in a tree's life cycle. The first blossoms signal that the tree is approaching maturity and preparing for fruit production. These blooms not only add beauty to the landscape, but also attract pollinators such as bees, which play a vital role in successful fruit set. Pollination requirements vary among species. Some trees are self-pollinating, while others benefit or require cross-pollination with another compatible variety. Researching the specific needs of your chosen fruit species can improve fruit production and overall success. As fruit begins forming, proper care becomes even more important. Adequate water and nutrition support healthy fruit development. Heavy crops may require thinning to improve fruit size and prevent branch breakage. Although thinning can feel counterintuitive, removing some fruit often results in better overall harvest quality. Harvest time is the moment many gardeners dream about from the day they plant the seed. Picking fruit from a tree you grew from a discarded pit creates a unique sense of accomplishment. Every bite represents years of patience, care, and dedication. The experience connects gardeners directly to the natural cycle of growth and renewal. Beyond fruit production, seed-grown trees provide numerous additional benefits. They offer shade, improve air quality, support wildlife, reduce erosion, and enhance landscape beauty. Even before producing fruit, they contribute value to the garden and environment. Growing trees from pits can also become an educational project for families and children. Watching seeds sprout and develop teaches important lessons about biology, ecology, responsibility, and patience. Often, children become fascinated by the transformation from seed to tree, making it an excellent hands-on learning experience. Many experienced gardeners eventually develop a collection of seed-grown trees. Each tree tells a story connected to a particular fruit, season, or memory. Some originate from fruit enjoyed during vacations, family gatherings, or special occasions. These personal connections make the trees even more meaningful. If space is limited, consider growing young trees in large containers initially. Container growing allows flexibility and can be especially useful for gardeners with small yards. While some trees eventually require more space, containers provide an excellent way to start the process and observe early development. Climate considerations should always be taken into account. Not all fruit trees thrive in every region. Understanding your local growing zone helps determine which species are most likely to succeed. Choosing trees adapted to your climate increases survival rates and long-term productivity. Another helpful tip is keeping a gardening journal. Recording planting dates, stratification periods, germination success rates, and growth observations provides valuable information for future projects. Over time, these records help refine techniques and improve results. Many gardeners discover that growing trees from pits inspires them to explore additional forms of propagation. They may begin experimenting with cuttings, grafting, layering, and other methods. Starting with simple seed propagation often opens the door to a deeper appreciation of horticulture. The economic benefits should not be overlooked. Purchasing mature fruit trees can be expensive, especially when planting multiple specimens. Growing trees from pits dramatically reduces costs and allows gardeners to expand their orchards without significant financial investment. Environmental benefits are equally compelling. Repurposing fruit pits reduces waste and promotes sustainability. Instead of discarding seeds, gardeners transform them into living plants that provide long-term ecological value. This simple act reflects a broader philosophy of making use of resources that might otherwise be wasted. There is also something deeply satisfying in participating in a process that humans have practiced for thousands of years. Long before commercial nurseries existed, people saved seeds and cultivated trees from generation to generation. Growing fruit trees from pits connects modern gardeners to this ancient tradition. Ultimately, success comes down to understanding and following the 3 simple steps. First, clean and cold stratify the pits to mimic winter conditions. Second, plant the germinated seeds in suitable soil and provide consistent care during early growth. Third, transplant the young trees to an appropriate location and nurture them as they mature. These straightforward steps transform discarded pits into thriving trees. Every fruit pit contains potential. Hidden within that small, hard shell is the blueprint for an entire tree. With the right conditions, that tiny seed can produce roots, stems, leaves, flowers, and eventually fruit. Few gardening projects demonstrate the power of nature more clearly than watching this transformation unfold. The next time you enjoy a peach, plum, cherry, apricot, or almond, pause before throwing away the pit. Consider the possibilities contained within that small seed. What appears insignificant today could become a flourishing tree that provides beauty, shade, blossoms, and harvests for years to come. A future orchard may already be sitting in your kitchen fruit bowl. The only thing standing between a discarded pit and a thriving tree is a little knowledge, a little patience, and the willingness to begin. Start with a handful of pits, follow the 3 simple steps, and watch as nature performs one of its most remarkable transformations right before your eyes.